Hey y'all, I'm doing another collab with Jordan's Meat Market tonight. Tonight I am featuring some of his andouille sausage. His store processes their own pork and they have all kinds of sausage, from breakfast sausage, andouille sausage, chorizo, kielbasa. They have all kinds of different sausage and their pork is really good. So let's get to it and let's make some jambalaya. First things I want to do is I want to get my chicken. That's 1.5 pounds of chopped chicken, and then I'm going to put some chopped pork in here. That's another 1.5 pounds of chopped pork, and I'm going to make a mess with my salt. I'm going to season them with salt and pepper, and then we're going to let them sit for a little bit. I love Cajun food. When my husband was stationed at Fort Benning, I learned how to make some Cajun food. My sisters came down and we went to New Orleans and we absolutely loved it and had a blast. And Cajun food's just got a really nice depth of flavor that's really good. Speaks to your soul. What is it they say? If you ain't sneezing, you ain't seasoning. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to move over to our pot and start cooking things. Okay, now we're gonna move over to the stove and we're gonna heat up my big old Dutch oven. Once that's warm, you would add your oil, but instead of oil, I'm gonna use some duck fat because I currently have a ton of it in my refrigerator. So you can put the duck fat in there. It'll add a little more flavor too. And once this is all warm, which it won't take long because the stove heats stuff up really, really fast. See, that's warmed up already. To that, we're gonna add the andouille sausage. And we're just gonna stir this and cook this until it turns a nice golden brown. See, you're just gonna stir it and keep an eye on it until it is golden brown. So as you can see, the sausage is now a nice golden brown. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take that out of the oil and we're gonna put it in a plate and set it to the side for a minute. Okay, now that we've got all the sausage out, to the oil, we are going to add 1/2 cup of butter. Be careful you put it in gently so you don't burn yourself. We're gonna let that melt down. And we're gonna add 1/2 cup of sugar because we're gonna make a sugar roux. So all you gotta do is stir this together and keep stirring continuously until it turns a nice golden brown. Okay, so everything's a nice golden brown now, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our chicken and we're gonna add our pork to this. We're gonna stir this, mix it together, and we are going to continuously stir until the meats are practically cooked and they are a nice golden brown color. One thing I forgot to mention is make sure you are seasoning on every stage of your cook. Add some of your cayenne, add some of your Cajun seasoning now, but you're gonna add some more later. Just season every layer of cooking so you get good flavor. As you can see, the meat's got a nice color to it now. Now we're going to start adding the Holy Trinity. We are going to add 3 Spanish onions. They're small, about the size of my fist. We're going to cook that down for a minute, and then we'll add the bell peppers and the celery. So I've got 3 stalks of celery and 2 bell peppers. So do y'all want to hear a funny story about how I started cooking Cajun food? So while we were stationed at Fort Benning, we lived over on the Alabama side, and one of my neighbors, because I'm Canadian, wanted to introduce me to Cajun cooking. So she asked me if she could make me some homemade gumbo. Now, I've never had gumbo before, so I was excited to try it. Well, wouldn't you know, she shows up at my house with a box mix, which I don't have a problem with people using, but to me, a box mix is not homemade from scratch. So after she left, I decided I wanted to try real gumbo and some real Cajun cuisine, and I started researching it and learning how to cook it all. Now we've sweat down these onions. So we're gonna add our 2 bell peppers, our 3 celery sticks. We're gonna sweat them down for a little bit before we add the garlic. Once you have everything sweated down, add your garlic. Stir it until it's fragrant and you can smell it. Remember what I said? Season as you go along. So we're gonna add some more Cajun. This is my homemade Cajun. We're gonna add some more salt. We're gonna add some more black pepper. Now, I know you can add a lot of different meats to jambalaya. We like ours with chicken and pork and andouille sausage. I know some people put shrimp in theirs. What do you like to put in your jambalaya? Do you do a sugar roux or do you do it with no roux? I have seen some people that make jambalaya with an actual flour roux too. Which way do you like to do yours? Now, that we have this all mixed, I forgot to tell you I put back in the andouille sausage. Once again, if you want some, go to Jordan's. We're gonna add our rice. And we're gonna stir this up and get it good and mixed together. When my sisters and I went to NOLA for a visit, we tried out all kinds of food. We ate some crawfish, love crawfish. And of course, we had to go to Cafe du Monde for beignets. And now we're gonna add, oh, that was 3 cups of rice, by the way. Now we're gonna add 4.5 cups of my homemade chicken bone broth. I also tried cooter soup while I was there. Surprisingly, I didn't mind it. So, you get this all mixed up. Then once again, season. Season, season, season. We're gonna add some more Cajun. My guys like things a little spicy. We're gonna add some Louisiana hot sauce. Not a whole bunch because, you know, I do want to share it with some friends. Because, you know, jambalaya, gumbo, there's no cooking it for 2. You cook it to feed your friends. Now, we're going to add some thyme. Generally, that's fresh thyme, but I'm out. But I do have dried, so that's what we're going to go with. We're going to add some thyme. We're going to throw in 3 bay leaves. Once this boils, we're going to cover it with a lid and we're going to turn the heat down and we're going to let it simmer for 30 minutes until the rice is cooked. So, I will see you soon. Okay, so the 30 minutes is up. Let's grab our pot. I've given it some time to sit. Oh, look at that. So good. So, we're gonna let that sit for a moment. We're gonna cut ourselves up some parsley. Nothing delicate about it, just pull it and chop it. Now, gumbo and jambalaya are like spaghetti. There's no making a little bit. You just gotta have your friends come over, or like we do, send it to work with my husband the next day for his work lunch. Sometimes he takes extra to share with his friends. I'm butchering this parsley while I talk on camera. Anyways, it doesn't need to be nothing fancy. Just chop it up. Push to the side. Now, let's look at this jambalaya. The rice is perfectly cooked. There's no liquid left in the bottom of the pot. Make sure you don't serve anybody bay leaves. You're going to top it with a little bit of parsley, some green onions, and now it's ready to eat. Let's get my husband in here to try it. Now remember, if you go to Jordan's, he's got a ton of different sausage and pork you can try, and his andouille is really, really good. So go on down there, get yourself some, tell him Lena sent you.
All right. The moment I've been waiting for. Oh man.
Yeah?
Mm. That depth of flavor is ridiculous. Mm.
Okay, so jambalaya. If you enjoyed this video and learning how to cook with me, please like, follow, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. I hope you all have a blessed day. Bye.